By the time we're 9 months old, like Isadora here, our eyesight has almost developed fully. In fact, our visual senses are probably better now than our mothers are. And while we could only focus as far as Mom immediately after we were born, now we can take in the sights of the universe. This man takes specialist photos of the night sky. But getting this kind of image requires thousands of dollars worth of equipment. However, given a clear sky, you can spot constellations like this with the naked eye, which is amazing considering how far away they are. This is the neighboring galaxy of Andromeda, and assuming we know where to look, we can spot it in seconds. Not bad for something that's 2.5 million light years, or 150 million trillion miles away. If the sensitivity of our eye is astounding, then so is our ability to perceive color. But how many colors can we actually see?
I would say 2.
300 different colors?
No, 3. I keep changing my mind.
That would be all the colors of the rainbow.
74.
Probably thousands.
No, there's way more colors than that.
40?
That's a tough question. Where do you get these questions?
This paint chart has 1,000 colors on it and stretches for 16 feet. But if you wanted it to reflect what our eyes can differentiate between, then it would have to be 21 3/4 miles long. That's 1.5 times the length of Manhattan. It's that long because our eyes can recognize a total of 7 million different colors, many more than we could ever put a name to. So how does something the size of a ping pong ball pull off this incredible trick? Well, imagine this pin cushion as the retina of your eye, the part that registers light. In reality, it's just 1.7 square inches in area and 1/100th of an inch thick. And it's packed with light receptors. They allow us to detect the faintest light and help us discern the subtlest difference in color. But the 200 pins packed in here pales when compared with the number of light receptors crammed onto our retina. Each of these light bulbs represents not 1,000, not 100,000, but 1,000,000 light receptors. Total them up, and you'll get 131 of them, equating to the 131 million receptors in your eye. And without them, you'd be totally blind. Our visual achievements are merely one of many. And in fact, by the time we're just 1 year old, we have already firmly made our mark on the planet and the people around us. Like young Noah here, our body will have more than doubled in weight, an enormous rate of growth, which is why we'll have spent most of this time asleep. In fact, during our first year, we'll have snoozed for a staggering 5,957 hours, or 248 days, one for each of these pillows. And whether waking hungry in the night or just demanding a diaper change, we'll have spent a considerable amount of time crying for attention. If each hour is represented by a pacifier, then the total would look like this: 490 hours crying in the first year. Enough to make the sturdiest parent wince. To satisfy our hunger, we'll have predominantly relied on one source more than any other: milk. And we'll have consumed a whopping 560 pints of it by the time we're 1 year old. Enough to fill 1,019 of these baby bottles. All that food will have had an inevitable consequence. In our first year, we'll have produced, on average, 152 quarts of urine, 86.5 pounds of poop, which will have required the use of 2,190 diapers. But ahead, a new world dawns. As we take our first steps, our reach, understanding, and abilities will take a massive step forward. As long as we don't trip over, that is. Next time, we continue our astonishing journey as we grow up and discover how much air we breathe, how far we will walk, and how much our body has to create to enable us to eat solid food. All startling surprises when we examine our body in numbers.